a lab experiment for the Hindutva. You said, and this is a little statistical analysis from you, that you go on and say that this is your, I guess you could call it statistical analysis of Pakistan. The Parivar's ultimate fantasy is a Hindu Pakistan. You're talking about the larger Hindu Parivar. In Pakistan, around 11, whose population is around 15 crore, nearly 75%, that is around 11 crore, are directly or indirectly engaged in agriculture. Some 200 families own most of the agricultural land. Even assuming each of these extended families comprise of 1,000 members, some 200,000 people control all the agricultural property. What is the status of the remaining 10 crore and 98 lakh people dependent on agriculture for their livelihood? The fact is that they are landless and even bonded laborers living in abysmal conditions. These people are at the total mercy of these landlords, and in many places there are no schools. The police dare not enter these areas. Any political economist would completely disagree with these statistics, sir. You've got a point, but you might be generalizing a little too much, Javed Saab.
Really? Really?
These numbers don't have veracity.
Achha. Are you suggesting that Vaderas allow schools and hospitals in the areas whenever and whichever NGO wants to do that?
It's happening.
It's not happening.
It's happening.
And as a matter of fact, these are your own channels that have informed me. It has not come from some other source.
It's not rampant, sir, and it's not like it used to be.
The fact, so things are improving.
Which is not a bad thing now, is it? But then to go around and go around generalizing,
there has not been.
You've put a stamp of
disapproval. It's very simple.
But you've put a stamp of disapproval on Pakistan.
No. I'm just repeating the words that I have read from Pakistani journalists, and I'm repeating the words that I have heard from different Pakistani channels. These are my source of information. The fact is that after partition, when you had Pakistan, there was never any land reform like in India. You did not abolish Jagirdari, you did not abolish Zamindari. The fact is that talking of democracy in a society where there is Jagirdari and Zamindari is a strange contradiction, which at least I can't understand.
You've also gone and compared Jinnah and put Jinnah, Thackeray and Advani on the same level. You said that they are either non-religious or atheists and who can be extremely communal.
Yeah.
Please explain.
Do you think any one of them is a very religious person or was a very religious person? At least you should know about your own Qaid-e-Azam. If you don't know about Thackeray or Advani, I can understand that.
But calling them non-religious or atheistic, while at the same time calling them communal, that's what I want to drive at.
I don't know. Maybe our definition of communalism differs. Which one of these three has not done it? Here was a man who should have spoken about the downtrodden, who should have spoken about the deprived, but he chose to speak about Muslims. All Muslims are not in one situation. They are not please understand one thing, they are not a monolith. So ultimately he was backed by Muslim Nawabs and Jagirdars and Muslim industrialists who knew that perhaps their interests will not be saved with Birlas and Tatas.
But people say that he was a legal man, he was a constitutionalist, that those religious things did not matter. What he wanted was the constitutional protection of Muslims in India. That's what people say.
Muslims in India, again, to think that Muslims are a monolith or Hindus are a monolith is communalism. Which Muslims you are talking about? Did he care for the Muslims who were the weavers in Banaras or in Malegaon, or did he care for the Nawabs?
So no,
or the industrialists?
So you're saying Muslims and Hindus in India are not homogenous. There's not one sort of Muslim or Hindu in India.
No, of course. So the basic two-nation theory is sold by RSS and by Jinnah. RSS also believes in two-nation theory.
All right. This is what further spans of a little bit of simplicity. You have another quote in the Hindu on the 1st of September 2006 in an article titled Indira Gandhi Award for Javed Akhtar. As for Pakistan, he said its role vis-a-vis was dubious at least and diabolic at the extreme. There is a perverse thinking in Pakistan. India's secularism embarrasses them. They want to see the right wing thrive here so that India becomes a theocratic state so that they would justify their involvement in terrorism here. Two questions. Question number one.
Yeah.
What's your proof that Pakistan is involved in terrorism in India? Number one. And question number two, aren't you going exactly against what you just went against right now, which is saying that Pakistan, you're making Pakistan sound like a monolith empire, like a monolith entity, because there's several Pakistans. There's an emerging middle class Pakistan. There's a deep state Pakistan. There's a Pakistan controlled by the army and perhaps to some level the intelligence agencies. There's a Pakistan run by Jagirdars. There's a Pakistan of bonded laborers. There's a Pakistan of good old normal tax-paying citizens. But you make Pakistan sound like this one us versus them entity. This is not very you, sir. This is simplistic.
Point conceded. I accept that. When I was saying Pakistan here, maybe in future I'll be more careful, I was talking of Pakistani establishment. I should have said that. Accepted.
Okay. Second question. First question again, sorry. Proof. What evidence do you have? Why are you saying that this would embarrass, if you are really meaning that this would embarrass the establishment, what do you mean by embarrass?
My friend, the very
What proof do you have?
I'll tell you. The very existence of Pakistan is based on a theory that says Hindus and Muslims are incompatible. They are not compatible at all. They cannot live together. They are two different people. Two nation theory, they are two nations. They have their own history, they have their own culture, they have their own civilization, and it is not possible for them to live together. That is two nation theory. These are two different nations. Anything which will prove that it is wrong will embarrass them. Anything which will prove it is right will give them strength. If Babri Masjid is demolished, it gives them strength. If Javed Akhtar becomes a successful writer in India, it is embarrassing for them.
Why is it embarrassing?
Because, again,
people are proud of the fact that Javed Akhtar is
people are, as a matter of fact, not the establishment. Do you know one thing?
Even the Javed Saab, even the establishment has different levels. There's no one like big building in which the establishment sits.
But
there's different parts of the establishment.
Then you can say that about any party. But there are some basic norms that are followed, like Kafi Azmi, K. Abbas, Sardar Jafri. These are the people who are very important writers of a language which is supposed to be your national language, Urdu. They have gone to Pakistan many times. You go and find out, have they ever been interviewed by Pakistan radio or Pakistan PIA, Pakistan television? Have they ever been? The answer is no. When any writer, any painter, any artist comes from Pakistan, we interview them on our television, our radio. We have public performance of Pakistani artists in
I think
India.
that's a little oversimplistic.
No,
sir, they are interviewed.
No,
they are people, artists
with
from...
a capital N and a capital O.
There's
Kafi Azmi or Sardar Jafri or K. Abbas.
Two examples. Two examples out of hundreds of Indian artists who might have come across the border and are loved and revered in Pakistan.
Urdu writers who are intellectuals, who are giants in their fields, they were never interviewed. Never.
And that's your yardstick?
No.
For the two-nation theory to kick in?
No, that is the manifestation of that.
All right.
Do you realize? And when, on the other hand, when Faiz Ahmad Faiz had come to India, he was treated like a royalty.
All right. We have to take a short break here. We're talking to the one and only Javed Akhtar. You're watching TalkBack. Do not go anywhere.